Alright, so now that we got this down, I think it makes the most sense is that we go get the skid loader and we just bring the skid loader right up to it and just see if we can just back up the skid loader. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to try to get the dump bed into the middle bay, and then what we did in the past is we drug the dump bed up onto the flatbed gooseneck trailer, and that got it to a really close height of where it's going to be on the Kenworth, and then we slid it onto the chassis of the truck. That gave us approximately the right height, and that way we weren't picking up from the ground level to the height of the truck, because that's a lot of dragging and scratching that's going to happen when you do it that way. And so for what we had, this was the only way that we could think to do it, and we actually ended up doing it the same way previously when we put the bed on the red T300. I need to get that cab guard. I gotta find a way to get that pushed backwards. It'll spin around into that bay. I just need to be able to get it. All right, so we are going to try to just start jacking the back up and put our jack stands under there. I really, if I can get it 30 inches in the air, I'd really like it 30 inches in the air. So we're gonna leave one board in the front, so it'll be tipped kind of like that, just to get it as high up as we can for the trailer. So. We're gonna get the skid loader in here, and we're gonna see if we can just lift it up. We could have a problem with it wanting to scoot forward. That's gonna be a problem. I want to see if I can get it up enough that I can get the jack stands higher. In a perfect world, I would love for the bottom of this to be at our trailer height. That may not be possible, but we're gonna try for it. You got to be really careful when doing it like this, especially hopping in and out of the machine. You can actually see the hydraulics bleeding off a little bit as it comes down. It's not ideal. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is this chain we were using to pull it around, we're going to unhook the bolt. And we're going to re-rig this chain for the back. Okay. All right, we're gonna try to back this up. I don't think we're quite high enough, but there's not a lot I can do about it. So, because we got it as high as we could with the machine. So, It's our angle coming in here because we're kind of coming up a hill. That's what's giving us a problem. I think last time I did it backwards, but we're going to keep backing up. I got 2 feet and we'll stop and take. Alright. We're going to get the skid in here. See if we can lift up enough. So there's just a little bit of a lip there on the edge of that trailer and the bottom of the dump bed, and we're just trying to get that lip up just a little bit so that we can hit the winch and get it past that hump, which we were able to do right there. A little sketchy, right? We're knocking jack stands over, but that was the plan. So we need to get a little closer to the tipping point. We need to raise that up, and I'm gonna reposition you guys too for a better. All right, so here we're using the winch on the trailer to pull the bed up on there. And we actually find out that we need to use the skid loader to kind of lift the front of the bed up a little bit, just so it's not pulling quite at such an angle. It will do it, it's just the battery was not supercharged on the winch. So we used the skid loader to kind of lift up the front, and that made the winch a lot easier to be able to pull this. With the red Kenworth, we did not have the winch, and we did this process with a come along, which was quite tedious. All right, so we've got the truck and the gooseneck into the shop. That's going to allow us to put the T300 behind it so that we have an easy way to drag it on. You'll notice we positioned the dump bed on the trailer specifically for this purpose. In the past, we've backed the chassis straight up to the trailer like so. And then we use these big blocks to kind of adjust the height. And these small blocks, they're going to get kicked out pretty quickly, but we needed to get the height up a little bit more. All right, so here we start working with the, it's actually a vertical chain hoist, and that gives you the most travel in order to not have to keep repositioning. And we actually found out that it was not going to work well, and we needed to switch to the come along. So we do that here in a little bit because it keeps just getting bound up. This will be more steps, but it's going to give us a lot more leverage, I think. We've got about a foot we can go back there before we're going to have to reposition one of the boards in the back. And we'll be about the same spot when we have to reposition the chain on the come along too. So we'll just run until we're out of chain or close to out of chain. All right, we're back to tension on that. We're gonna go reposition for a second, use the floor jack to pick up and reposition boards. All right, here we go. See a news article that says man gets crushed by winch between cab. What we're gonna do now, because y'all know how I love sketchy shit, we're gonna go get some ratchet straps. We're gonna strap this thing down to the frame because unfortunately we have to move the truck. We can't get the trailer in and out without moving the truck. And it's not gonna be today when we put the angle iron and build the mounts and everything. It's gonna be a different day. Basically what we're doing here is we're strapping the subframe to the truck's frame really tightly with ratchet straps. You want to make sure that you go above or below the drive shaft so that it can still move freely. But we're basically just tightening this down to try to help it from moving. It doesn't matter how many times you do this, like this part is never the fun part. You can feel the beds, when you tap the brakes, you can feel the bed slide a little bit. It's not going anywhere in the long scheme of things, but it's an uneasy feeling. When we did the T8, we had the rollers under it, but it was tightened down. And you could feel it move like an inch or two back and forth as you took off and braked. But we're literally just swinging around. Oh, you know what? We can't fit in that bay. We gotta go back in the bay that the trailer's in. So we're gonna get this scooted up there very gently and very easy on the brakes, very easy on the clutch. And then we'll get the trailer moved. And then we'll bring the truck back in here, face forward. All right, here it goes. I'll be easy on them brakes. Probably won't even put it in gear, I'll just let it roll slightly. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're using this board and the bottle jack to kind of try to lift up on the subframe. And our purpose is we're trying to get those 2x4s out of here that we use to slide on the bed. So we're just kind of seeing lifting it the least amount possible to get it up. And this is probably not a good orientation to have the board. It's really very easy to split the board like this. It's just the only thing we had around that was the right height. And so we left those straps partially connected so that if the bed, were to slide or something, that we had a little bit of protection there. But that's what we're doing here. Okay, so we're going to be making some bracketry, and I don't know for sure that I have enough metal for all of it so far, but we cut this in the chop saw and it leaves kind of a material. Anyway, all right, so we're going to be putting our brackets on. We're going to try to do 3. We've got 1/2 inch thick 4x4 angle iron. I was really looking for a 5x5, but they didn't have any in stock. So this will work. So what we're going to do is, this is a 12-inch piece. I've cleared off here for welding. It's going to be kind of like this. And then we're going to have our other, this is going to be drilled into the frame. And then we'll have our other piece that will be welded to the subframe. And then these 2 pieces will be welded together. So and this piece is 12 inches. The top pieces are 10. So the piece that's going to be on here is going to be 10. And that's so that when these 2 things come together, we have a good surface to lay our weld on the edges. And this probably didn't have to be 10. I probably could have got away with 11 or 10.5 or something. 10's probably a little shy, but we made them 10 because I had already cut one that way. So that's what this piece is right here. But again, if it's 4-inch, we're not going to have a weld surface, so I'm cutting it back a little bit. And that's what I've got this jig set up for, so I can run the plasma down. That way it cuts nicer. 'em. Obviously, in this area, we're drilling them, so we have enough room to work with it. But at the same time, we don't want to go too high to the corner, and so where the cross members are stock gives us a good, safe, drill height. So that's why I wanted to focus on figure that out. So, all right. So back to trying to figure out how we are going to do this. 5.5 from the bottom plate. That'll give me a rough idea. And I'm going to remark that. That was supposed to be 8 and 20. So we came down from this bracket here on the dump bed with the idea that we were going to have our hinge at 8 as the starting and 20. And that range right there. That's 12 inches, so that'll be our bottom. And we got to figure out what we're going to use kind of bring that line down. Probably use a red square. I'll walk you through what we're doing, okay? So this one, okay, is gonna go on the truck, all right? This one is gonna go up here, okay? The bottom one's fatter. It's gonna go roughly to the end of these lines.
Okay.
And the bottom of here needs to be roughly at these lines, okay? And then this top one is thinner. The top one, there's a second line, okay? And then there's a second line, that one's hard to see.
They go together.
That's where the top piece should end.
Okay.
Because the bottom piece is fatter. That makes sense?
Yeah.
What I was trying to do is hold it like this, okay? Because I think overall it's gonna be the easiest way to kind of line it up on those, right? But I can't watch the bottom lines, okay? Does that make sense? And hold it there, okay? But I'm hoping that you can.
Yeah, will you be able to start over here so I can hold it from right there? Yeah.
And
that would be the best because I can hold it exactly.
The one thing that's important is this here. We got to make sure it's flat at the top and bottom. That's more important to get it
flat on them.
Yeah, because we can adjust the bottom still. Yeah. So what it might be is we might do that, and then we might have to. You see how I had to angle that?
Yeah.
And kind of make it as flat as it can be.
Yeah.
I can help you adjust those. We probably might have to tip your mast down first.
Okay.
And as soon as we get a tack in, it'll be fine. I have no way to clamp. And it's awkward and heavy. So.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
Okay. Here, I can move this light better. Is that any better? Better or no?
Yeah.
Or maybe better or no?
No. I might just have to go with no mask real quick.
Is that gonna help?
No, I really can't. Oh, no, I can't see nothing.
Well, that's because it's, it's because it's too dark.
Yeah.
Or it's too.
It's too bright.
Yeah.
You try this tire.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Is that gonna work?
Yeah.
Can you see now?
Yeah.
I'll help you line up, okay? So you gotta come down this way more. A little bit higher. A little bit higher. Okay, how does your one on the left look at the bottom?
It's gotta go up a little. Oh.
Sorry, I'm helping you.
That's I'm right there.
Sorry.
How's my side look?
Good. Because this can move a little bit. And those are not a perfect thing. So I think that's perfect. I think I can, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clamp this up here.
Yeah.
To drag this up just a little bit. And I'm hoping next time we have I can make measurements after I get one. So,
Yeah. Are you going to drill or weld it?
Yeah, I'm gonna weld these together, but I'm gonna drill this plate first.
Okay, but don't. Oh yeah, never mind.
Because then so I'll have room to kind of make some adjustments still on this.
Yeah.
But, okay, fantastic. Thank you.
All right.
There was no way to hold. Okay, So we had Isaac help us hold this up, and we kind of held it up like this. So this is nice and flush across. This is fully attached at the top. This is nice and flush here. So the problem that we ran into is that I can't set the mag drill right here and still hit this. The pilot pin and stuff is too much, and the mag drill doesn't have enough retraction to sit on this. So we're actually going to have to put the mag drill on this to drill our holes. All right, which means we can't have this here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put like a 1/2 inch tack here, here, and here, so that we can get rid of this clamp and it will hold it in place. There's a risk, obviously, with that if the tacks aren't strong enough, it's going to drop our drill and everything. So we're going to have to do like a real, almost like a stitch, not a tack, or a longer held tack. And then we'll come back and full weld that once we've got all of our holes drilled. So we're going to go turn the welder on because I forgot to do that, and we'll get that tacked. And then we're going to put 4 bolts in this. We're going to put them at 1.5 inches in and 4.5 inches in, and then we're going to do the same thing, 1.5 inches in and 4.5 inches in. So 1.5 inches means we put a bolt about right here. 4.5 means we put one about right there. Put one about right there. About right there. Okay. So there is our 4 bolts. That should give us plenty of meat all the way around. And that's where we're going to drill. So we're going to use our mag drill. Get that hooked up. I'm gonna wipe it down real quick. Okay. We've got a good bit in that. We lost our screw for that. We got to order that. So if you see this fall off a lot of times, I know it's frustrating. And this is not plugged in, so that would have been that would have been a nice surprise when we flip that switch. Okay. Nice and stable. I lost my nylon strap that holds this up. I'd recommend that you get one. If I can find it, what I'll do is C-clamp up here and have my strap to my drill. I'm gonna make sure I catch it if it falls, but I've only dropped it one time. But it's definitely too expensive to let it just fall on the ground. We went to Fastenal this morning and got some fasteners. They didn't have exactly the size we wanted. We wanted 2.5. I think we settled for 2.25. But it'll work. So 5/8, good grade 8 washers. And those are snug, and we'll come back and do those more in a minute. Once I open them, I'm going to throw away. All right, we're going to go do the other side. This gives you enough idea. I think I'm just going to show you one side the whole way down, and we'll be doing identical stuff on the opposite side. So I'm going to go get that done, and then we'll be back to start the next bracket. I'm sorry, guys. I lied. We never welded our welded this, so can't be finished until we weld that. So we're gonna hook the welder up, and we're gonna get that welded so that we can actually be completely done with this one mount. So here's how we're going to do this back one. I changed my original plan a little bit. So we had been doing 12-inch sections for the bottom. That's what we did in the middle. So actually what I did is I made this one 15, okay? And we got 12 here in front of the cross member, and then we've got another 3.5 or 3-ish here. Must be 11.5 before the before the hanger then. Because I know it's 3.5 above the hanger. So we're not going to put a bolt over here because it's a little thinner, okay? We're going to do our same 4 bolts like we did on that, because that's pretty much 12 inches, okay? But I brought that back because that allowed me to grab this original mount, okay? And we're not able to grab the hinge point of the mount, but we're able to grab this piece that was factory to the subframe, and then we're adding a much shorter piece. This is probably 6 inches, just to fill out the rest of our 1/2-inch plate. So this will sit up there, and so what we'll be doing is we'll be welding this the same way we did the other one. We won't be welding any of this piece here that was already welded, but we will be welding. We cleaned up the side. We'll be welding down the side of the old piece, and then across the front of the old piece. And that way we've got a tie-in to the original hinge, and then we've got, you know, more area here where we're picking up some extra strength. So still out on the edge if I'm going to put any triangle gussets in here. Kind of just depends on where we end up with time. So we are going to, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get our piece up here kind of stitched in, and then we're going to tack weld the top and bottoms together like we did before, so that we can drill this. This one may be even a bigger challenge to drill, because now when we're going this way with the drill, we're going to be against this. we can see that enough. Square was starting to get hot. All right, and then we did 1.5 inches. All right, so last time we did 1.5 inches. We did 4.5. And then I'm gonna call it, on this one we're gonna call it 1.25 inches. Just want to give ourselves a little more room. So I did 1.25 inches and 4.25 and then 1.5 inches and 4.5. Just because this was actually supposed to be 3, it wasn't supposed to be 3.5, and I forgot about that. So just kind of split the difference a little bit. So we're gonna go get the mag drill and figure out how we're going to. The first 2 is gonna be easy. I'm not sure about that one when we have to turn it around, how we're gonna do that. So and the last one will be easy because we'll have enough for the mag drill to set. So it might take some playing around, but we will get started with drilling. Reach in here somehow and get behind here without having to get under. I think we're gonna probably have to get underneath it. So there's 2 set up. Oh, you know what? I can get in from the back. Alright, sorry about that. The GoPro had died, but we got these snugged up, and we're going to go do the same exact thing on the opposite side. And then when we come back, we will be working on the one in the front, and that probably will be sometime tomorrow. But we'll get this other one done before we go to bed, and we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks. Okay, so here's where we're at. We got that bolted up and welded. We've got that one bolted up and welded. And those triangles, I actually had the owner cut those out for us. We just welded them in place. So we actually did that after the fact, just for some extra strength. But we actually did not cut those. So because those are missing in the video, that's why. We were just trying to save him some time. So he actually came in and cut those gussets, and we just welded them in place. And then he made this bracket for us as well. We just kind of instructed him based on how we had done the others, and had him do that just to save himself some time, and then we welded them for him. So just let him use our plasma cutter and kind of gave him some extra instructions on how to make those gussets, and then we welded them in for him. So that way, we really wanted 3 across here, but we're trying to also be conscious of what was left of his build budget. So we had him help us with that a little bit. So if you didn't see that one made on the video, that's why. That was actually made later, and he actually drilled the holes and everything for that. We just welded it for him. So we got the main 2 back ones on there, so that's how it's mounted. And the other side is the same way. All right, well, that concludes our video on getting the Garwood bed on this T300 chassis. It was definitely a lot of work, but not unachievable. And we got it up on the bed and got it mounted and bolted in place, welded in place. And that's where we're going to stop this video. The next video will be covering the PTO and actually getting the bed to be controlled from the cab. But if you like the content, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll continue bringing more videos of things we do at the homestead. Thanks.